one can think about through physics. आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस वेबिनार में. Before we go ahead, I would like to briefly introduce Honorable H.C.Verma sir. सर का जन्म मिथिला में हुआ, उसी जगह पे जहाँ पे माता सीता ने जन्म लिया. उसके बाद सर पटना आ गए. पाटलिपुत्र में सर ने अपनी एजुकेशन ली और पटना साइंस कॉलेज में एज ए प्रोफेसर he served there. After serving in Patna Science College, sir has moved to IIT Kanpur, and rest you know. Sir is so humbled, so simple, and we all know sir through concept of physics. मैं आप लोग को ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फिजिक्स नहीं, बल्कि सर ने और भी कई सारे पुस्तकें लिखी हैं, जिसमें क्वांटम फिजिक्स, कैलकुलस के ऊपर भी पुस्तकें हैं. आप उसे जरूर पढ़ें. आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं आपको बताऊं, whether it's India or outside India, students, those who are preparing for IIT or engineering or medical, they all go through concept of physics. I also studied sir's book, and now my son is studying sir's book. So now you can think, you can say that it's not just a book, it's a granth that, going through generation to generation. Because of the service that sir has given to the nation for physics, for the education, for providing training to the teachers, physics teachers, so that teachers can train students in the classroom, can motivate students in the classroom, so that more science, more engineering, more innovation can be done. सर का परिचय कराना उसी तरह है जैसे कि सूरज को दिया दिखाना है. ये मेरा सौभाग्य है कि आज हम सब के बीच सर यहाँ उपस्थित हैं और आज के इस वेबिनार में, इस संवाद सत्र में सर हमें अपना मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त करेंगे. मैं 2 लाइन सर के लिए बोलना चाहूँगा यहाँ पे कि मन समर्पित, तन समर्पित और यह जीवन समर्पित. सर ने अपना जीवन साइंस के लिए समर्पित कर दिया. He has devoted his whole life for the physics teachers, for the physics students. मन समर्पित, तन समर्पित और यह जीवन समर्पित for the nation. चाहता हूं मातृभूमि और कुछ और भी दूं. चाहता हूं मातृभूमि मैं तुझे कुछ और भी दूं. With this, I stop here, and now I would request Honorable H.C.Verma sir to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for such a high-profile introduction. I'm a very simple person. I have only read some books and enjoyed. That is the only thing that whatever I read, I enjoyed. And that is why I am doing all these things, so that other people should also enjoy. It is such an enjoyable experience to learn anything, and physics in special. And millions of students and teachers who are in this game, many of them are not enjoying. So that's why, since I know that it is so enjoyable, so that is the reason I am moving here and there and talking to people. That's all. Nothing great about it. So the message is that you must enjoy your learning, and this should be a kind of a culture that I learned something new and I'm very happy. What will this learning give me is very secondary. If we have learned something, it will pay for it. So our life can be useful, our life can be fruitful only when we learn many things and use them. So learning in itself, irrespective of the examinations, irrespective of the admissions, irrespective of the jobs, the learning itself, in itself, is very, very nice thing to do. So that's the message. With that, whatever other things you ask me, maybe I will respond.
Yeah, sir, today's webinar is for the students, those who are preparing for medical, engineering, or physics, and they are motivated towards the research. So, how an students can develop that, can get that motivation to understand physics, and as a teacher, what's the message that from classroom to the cosmos? Now students are thinking about the beyond the classroom. So as a teacher, what you would like to share with them? Yeah.
Yes, see, all the great discoveries or great researches are have taken places outside the classroom only. Okay, we know about that apple story, whether it is true or not, but if you go by that, apples do not fall in the classrooms. They always fall outside the classrooms. So classrooms is very limited. There is a particular syllabus, a curriculum, routined semester-wise, uh, totally regimented. So that free thinking, that free learning, training the mind to understand the things, comprehend the things, and then find solutions of the problems, that does not come only through the classroom. Classroom prepares for it. Classroom prepares for us to do all these kinds of learning from the nature. So that's the starting point, classroom. In fact, the starting point is not classroom, it is much before that. All right, as you said, physics, that physics is something which we can always see with our eyes, a major part of physics, and especially which is there up to +2 levels. So major part of it is something which we can directly experience. And this experience starts just after the birth itself. So by the time a student goes in a school system, that is, let's say 3 years, I believe, 3 years is the time when it goes, lot of physics the student has already learned, lot of physics already learned. So it starts from there itself. In classroom, we formalize things. We use technical words so that we can communicate with others in the field. So we learn that new language of science and the terminology and all those things. So we are prepared for there. And then the same story, what we had 0 to 3 years, looking at the events, looking at the nature, looking at the things which are happening in our surrounding, and then analyzing ourselves. A child asks questions, too many questions, that is okay. But finally, the student, the child, 2 years old child, 1 year old child, 3 year old child, comes out with their own perceptions and own rules. Those rules may be wrong, and but the important part is looking at something which has happened. I can formulate a rule which is consistent with that. If something else happens and that rule doesn't work here, the child will replace it. So this scientific training, which leads to all kinds of discoveries and all kinds of up to cosmos, or up to the micro nano level. So we talk of quarks and leptons and all those things which are subatomic, and we also talk of astrophysics and all kinds of things which are happening in the universe, the Big Bang, starting from Big Bang. So this entire journey, the common part is that we should train ourselves to analyze the situation, that the data that is available to us. The apple falling was a data only. So to analyze all the data that we have, so that's the common thing which leads from classroom to the cosmos.
Just to share one more thing, it's really a great day for all of us, for us, for UPS, as well as the participants, those who are attending this webinar. It's a special year, I would say. This year on Ram Navami, Sir is celebrating his 75th birthday. And this year, we are having such kind of interaction and discussion with Sir. It's really a great honor for all of us to listen to Sir. Sir, moving forward, actually, for this webinar, we have received more than 2,000 questions from the participants, from the students.
Okay.
So there were some questions, similar questions were there. So we have filtered and we have summarized those questions. So maybe we'll put one by one. So the first question is how you developed interest in physics. That was there a specific moment, a person or experience in your childhood or early student life that sparked your love for physics?
Actually, physics is something, as I said, which is so visible in the world that you don't need a particular event or a particular thing, something happens and then you get interested into it. From a very childhood, in a very natural fashion, everyone is attracted to the physics. The word physics comes much later. The word physics comes much later. But we, from the very childhood, before going to the school, we have understood that light travels in a straight line. If there's something very bright and it's hurting our eyes, any child will just put a hand between the source and the eyes. Because the child has already learned this, that light is coming in straight lines, and if I put my hand in between, it will be blocked and my eyes will be relieved. So that way, the physics is something which we are very fortunate. I am very fortunate, or all physics fraternity is very fortunate that they are in this grand universal laboratory of physics, where all kinds of events are there, and we just see it and learn from there. So that is in a very natural way the physics was the favorite. It's not that the other things were not favorite. So I loved mathematics, I loved chemistry also. I did not get a chance to learn biology in my school days, and that deficiency I am now removing. I am studying biology for the last 3 years, and I am going through the class 6 books, 7 books, class 8 books. So any kind of learning is always good. And during that learning, if you start liking some subject more than the other, it's very natural. So there's no special catalyst is needed for it. And for at least for me, there was nothing like that. I enjoyed every learning. Anything that I learned, I enjoyed. And it so happened in a very natural way that when I had to choose between one subject for BSc honors. Okay, so it is that stage where any one of the subjects I could have chosen, but physics was favorite anyway.
Thank you, sir. Related to that, one question came in my mind just now. You said that you have started studying biology in last 3 years, and you see, physics and biology has a very strong relation. It goes parallelly, and from the history, if you see Abhimanyu, so he got that knowledge before his birth of Chakravyuth knowledge. Now I see that millions of students or the mothers as a teacher, those who are teaching courses, reading concept of physics, what about the impact of that physics on their next coming children? So if you could share some points,
It's better to do a study on it,
yeah,
collect data.
yeah,
The parents are physics persons,
yeah.
mother especially is a physics person, and then what the children are doing. If you collect some data and do some statistical analysis, it will be wonderful.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, the next question is, when you decided to publish concept of physics, I say it's a granth, the book which everyone listening to you here has participated or practicing. What motivated you to publish that?
See, that is, it was not very nicely planned. I never knew that I will be writing a book. I was always interested in teaching and learning. So when after my formal education, MSc and PhD, I wanted to become a teacher, and I got the opportunity. Some post was advertised and I applied for it and appeared for the interview, and they selected me. So I started teaching in Patna Science College. That was 1979. Now that time the college structure was that we had +2 there. The name was different. We used to call it pre-university science,
Yeah.
but at the in the current terminology, it's like +2. So the +2 was there. Then bachelors with honors in all kinds of subjects, geology and zoology and chemistry and mathematics and physics, and then masters also, because masters was not part of my college, but it was a PG, postgraduate department of the university, but somehow it was housed in our building.
Hmm.
Okay, so we had the chance to teach all the spectrum from +2 to masters. So when I started teaching these +2 students, I found that the way I wanted to deliver, the way I wanted my students to orient their own thinking, and my lectures were tuned to that. It was always, I always tried to connect that physics equations and principles and numericals or whatever it is with the actual life that we are living outside the classroom. Okay? Our vegetable shops, our festivals, anything, the way we live, the kind of this animal world that we
Right.
have. So all these things which were there, I wanted to connect it so that it seems, it appears to be a subject which touches my life. So that is why I was trying to do in my classroom. So I tried my best, in fact, and but I found that students are not able to be in coherence with me because they had no material, study material from which they can study after the school, after the college, in their own homes, in their self-study.
Right.
So there was no teaching material for their self-study after the classes, which was in tune with the lectures that I was delivering. The physics books were there, but they were mostly telling the theories and the applications and the equations and all those things, but this connection with life, that part was missing. So when I found that my students are deprived because they do not have such a material, the existing books are not in tune with my lectures, and I didn't want to tune my lectures according to the existing books. So the only option available was that I write a book. So this book was written only for Patna Science College students. Every year some 150 students will join in +2, and every year I have to teach fresh 150 students. Only for those 150 students this book was written. Okay, but once it was prepared, it was published finally. then the whole nation found it much more useful and they could connect with it. And I was very happy to see that because of this book, people are connecting physics with the real
All right. So one example is myself. I
life.
studied this book while I was preparing for medical, and now I am studying again when my son is preparing for competitive exam. So yes, sir, not just 150 that your target was at that time, but now I'd say that 150 million and billions of students now, not only in India, but around the globe, they are studying sir's book. So moving forward, next question is, millions of students use your book, just related to our discussion, just to crack ITG or medical exam, and they want to understand the best methodology to practice that book. How they can get best of it?
Yeah, the advice is they start with the first page of the book, right? Uh, it starts with some kind of it is dedicated to
Right.
Indian lifestyle and Indian philosophy. So that is also very important. The first page of the book, which says that it is dedicated to the Indian lifestyle, and of course to my parents also, of which my parents were part.
Part.
So
Yes, yes.
basically,
This is
basically it is dedicated to that. So that from there you should start this clue how to
right.
read it. Keep this Indian lifestyle and philosophy in mind, and it can never promote any kind of stress, any kind of jealousy, any kind of thoughts that I should be ahead of the others. कहते हैं कि सुख सबसे आगे रहने में नहीं है, सुख सबके साथ रहने
साथ
में.
रहने.
Okay?
जी.
So that's the kind of Indian this philosophy is there. So keep that in mind and should be stress free. Forget about the futures and the jobs and the uncertainties and this and that. In my student life, I never cared about the examinations in school days. I never cared about examinations. And the result was that I learned very fast. If you learn, if you have skills, thinking skills, you can do something with your hands, you can do something with your minds, your brains. You have learned those things. No matter which examination you pass and which examination you do not pass, your life is very, very secured. You don't have to worry about the jobs and future and this and that. So all these things is because we are not focusing on stress-free learning. We are all the time, we are in tension, okay? As if this examination is something which will decide my future. Nothing decides your future, okay? The chances are good that you will lead a useful life and a satisfactory life if you have oriented your brain in that direction, that you can analyze a situation, you can comprehend a situation, then you can find ways where this situation can be made better. So that skills are to be learned. Now all this syllabus, all these concepts of physics, the book, the numericals, the questions, everything is to train your brain in that direction. The examination is a byproduct. Okay, you prepare from this book and other literature and other ways, and then you get into IIT system or good medical colleges or other institutions of higher reputations. That is a byproduct. That is not the target. The target is to live a life which is useful, which benefits the world, which benefits the society, which benefits the environment, our earth. So that is the goal, and for that we have to prepare ourselves mentally and physically. Okay, so with that you start reading concepts of physics, not for cracking JEE. we have made a lot of efforts to establish this JE system, and now nobody should try to crack it. We don't want any crack. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the first part.
Yeah.
Then the second part is, after this dedication page, next is preface.
Yeah.
In the preface, there are some 3 or 4 pages there. One is to the students.
Yes.
Before that table of contents, to the students, and there I have explained in which way it should be read, so that you get the maximum benefit out of it.
सर इसी में कंटिन्यू करते हुए आज का जैसा आप सर बताएं कि हमें पढ़ाना और सिखाना दोनों, और पढ़ना और सीखना, तो एक है कि हमने पढ़ लिया और पढ़ा दिया लेकिन हमने कुछ सीखा नहीं। और ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फिजिक्स जो ये ग्रंथ है, ये बच्चों को और टीचर्स को भी कैसे मोटिवेट करता है सीखने के लिए? इसके ऊपर
चुनौतियां हैं, चुनौतियां हैं, लेकिन वो चुनौतियां जो है वो दुख देने के लिए नहीं है जी, आनंद देने के लिए है। चुनौतियां ऐसी हैं कि सब्जेक्ट है एक, तो उसमें जो उदाहरण दिए गए होंगे, जो बातें लिखी गई होंगी, अच्छा फिजिक्स समझाया गया होगा, लेकिन उसके साथ में उसको हमने ये भी जोड़ा होगा, सिचुएशंस के साथ में जोड़ा होगा, राइट। इस सिचुएशंस के वैसे भी सवाल होंगे जो सिचुएशन से नहीं जुड़े हुए हैं, ऐसे भी प्रश्न होंगे उसके अंदर में, और टेक्स्ट में भी ऐसी चीजें होंगी। बहुत सारा मैथमेटिक्स करना है, इंटीग्रेशन डिफरेंशिएशन करना है, वो भी होगा उसके अंदर में। लेकिन फिर आपने कितना सीखा है उसको जांचने के लिए नहीं, लेकिन जो आपने नहीं सीखा है, जो सीखना चाहिए था और किताब में था, पाठ में था, आपने पढ़ा भी था और शायद उस समय समझ भी लिया था, लेकिन वो दिमाग में रहा नहीं क्योंकि उसको गहराई से नहीं समझा, थोड़ा ऊपर ऊपर समझ लिया। तो उसके लिए फिर बहुत सारे प्रश्न जो दिए गए हैं उनको हल करना है। वो हर प्रश्न का एक पर्पस है, हर प्रश्न का एक पर्पस है। क्यों है वो प्रश्न वहां पे? तो न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन है तो क्यों है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन है तो क्यों है वो? तो वो इसी के लिए कि मैंने एक फोर्सी किया कि अगर कोई बच्चा इस किताब को पढ़ेगा और पढ़ पढ़ के ही समझेगा, उसके पहले से ज्यादा कुछ पता नहीं है, तो क्या क्या चीजें इसमें से मिस कर सकता है। और उस हर चीज में जो कि सामान्यतः शायद बच्चा मिस कर जाएगा पढ़ते समय में, टीचर्स भी पढ़ाते समय उसको एम्फेसाइज नहीं करेंगे, ऐसे जो पॉइंट्स होंगे उनके लिए एक एक न्यूमेरिकल बनाया गया है। बहुत सोच सोच करके एक एक न्यूमेरिकल बनाया गया है। तो वो न्यूमेरिकल अगर आपसे बन गया है तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है, बन गया, आपका एक बूस्ट मिलेगा, आपको एक सेटिस्फेक्शन मिलेगा, एक कॉन्फिडेंस मिलेगा कि हाँ 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 मैंने बना लिया। बट उसका मतलब है कि आपने जिस काम के लिए वो सवाल बनाया गया था, जिस कमी को पूरा करने के लिए वो सवाल बनाया गया था, वो कमी आप में नहीं थी, आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा हुआ था, वो वाला कॉन्सेप्ट, वो वाला पार्ट आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा हुआ था। तो आप आगे के सवालों में जाएंगे जब, फिर कोई एक ऐसा सवाल मिलेगा जो कि नहीं बनेगा, ओके, जब कि नहीं बनेगा, तब वो सवाल अपना पर्पस पूरा करेगा। जब वो सवाल आपसे नहीं बनेगा, फिर आप उस पर सोचोगे कि क्यों नहीं बना, क्या गड़बड़ हुई, कौन सी चीजें हमने गलत समझी, कहाँ कौन से हमने कंडीशंस नहीं याद रखे जो कि यहाँ पर अप्लाई हो रहे हैं, किन कंडीशंस में हमारे वो इक्वेशंस निकाले गए थे जिनको मैं यहाँ अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, वो कंडीशंस यहाँ फुलफिल क्यों नहीं हो रहे हैं। तो आप उस पर विचार करेंगे, मित्रों से पूछेंगे, जो भी करेंगे, सेल्फ स्टडी करेंगे, या इंटरनेट पर रिसोर्सेज है वहाँ जाएंगे, और उससे अगर नहीं काम चलेगा तो फिर आप शिक्षकों की शरण में जाएंगे, जो भी करेंगे, कुछ भी करके आप उसको फाइनली बनाएंगे, वो कमी पूरी होगी। तो इस प्रकार से ये सवाल इस तरीके के दिए गए हैं कि वो एक एक करके आपकी इस प्रकार के जो स्किप ओवर हो गए थे उन चीज़ों को वो रिवाइज करते रहे। एक चैप्टर में है तो 2 चैप्टर पहले जो चीज़ है वो आप भूल जाएंगे क्योंकि नया चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हैं, तो उसमें भी इस तरह के सवाल बनाए गए कि जिसमें उसका भी इंटरलिंक्ड है, तो आपको वो भी करना है। तो एक प्रश्न हल करने के बाद, या एक पैराग्राफ पढ़ने के बाद, या एक मैथमेटिकल इक्वेशन का डेरिवेशन पढ़ने के बाद, डेरिवेशन करने के बाद अगर खुशी मिल रही है तो आप सही लाइन पर है।
जी
अगर खुशी नहीं मिल रही है, आपको लगा 2 घंटे बर्बाद हो गए मेरे एक ही सवाल के अंदर में,
जी 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 जी
तो इसका मतलब है कि कुछ गड़बड़
जी जी
है, आप स्ट्रेस में हो,
जी
आपके पास समय नहीं है। एक सवाल पे 2 घंटा लगाने के लिए आपके पास समय क्यों नहीं है?
जी
वो इसलिए नहीं है कि आप स्ट्रेस में है।
हम्म,
आपको अपने भविष्य की इतनी चिंता हो रखी है जिसको कोई कंट्रोल कर नहीं सकता है, भविष्य
जी
को किसने कंट्रोल किया है,
बिल्कुल
इतनी चिंता हो रखी है। या फिर आपको एक सामाजिक प्रतिष्ठा का प्रश्न बना हुआ है कि मेरा दोस्त पास कर जाएगा और मैं पास नहीं करूंगा, मैं जेई में नहीं जाऊंगा, वो चला जाएगा, कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ ऐसा गड़बड़ हो रहा है।
जी
सोसाइटी को आप प्यार नहीं कर रहे हो, सोसाइटी आपको कॉम्पिटिटर नजर आ रही है, तो फिर ये सब समस्याएं आएंगी।
समस्या
तो हेल्थ को खूब अच्छा रखना और माइंड को खूब अच्छा रखना, खूब खुशी खुशी काम करना, कुछ लर्न, जब भी कुछ नया सीखा उसको सेलिब्रेट करना, जब भी कोई सवाल नहीं बना उसको ज्यादा सेलिब्रेट करना, क्योंकि वो एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहा है, बड़ी
सोचने
अपॉर्चुनिटी
का
दे रहा है। जो सवाल बन गया उसने केवल आपका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाया है, लेकिन ये आपकी कमियों को पूरा कर रहा है जो सवाल नहीं बन रहा है।
जी
तो आप पहले तो सबसे पहले सवाल पढ़ते ही खुश हो जाओ कि हाँ ये तो हमसे नहीं बना, गुड,
जी जी
फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में मुझसे नहीं बना। पहले तो आप उसी में खुशी मनाओ कि आज तो बढ़िया दिन है। ऐसे लेके चले,
जी जी
जिंदगी बढ़िया चलेगी, मस्त।
तो सर बच्चों के लिए भी पढ़ना भी जरूरी है और पढ़ाई के साथ साथ सीखना भी जरूरी है। टीचर्स के लिए भी पढ़ाना तो जरूरी है ही, पढ़ाने के साथ साथ बच्चों को सिखाना भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। सर आगे बढ़ते हुए जो अगला प्रश्न है ये है, व्हाट सेपरेट्स अ स्टूडेंट who can solve every J problem from one who could become a physicist?
ओके, ओके। वो क्या है ना, देखो कि चूंकि जेईई और आईआईटीज का सोसाइटी के अंदर में ऐसा परसेप्शन है कि वहाँ जिनके एडमिशन्स होते हो जाते हैं वो बहुत फ्रूटफुल रहते हैं और उनकी ज़िंदगी बड़ी अच्छी चलती है, तो बहुत सारा कंपटीशन होता है। तो अब जेई के सवाल बनाने के लिए बिना बहुत पीछे अपना बैकग्राउंड स्ट्रॉन्ग किए भी सवाल कैसे बनाए जा सकते हैं, इसके लिए बहुत सारे एल्गोरिदम्स पैदा
जी
किए गए हैं।
जी
ओके, तो और विशेष करके ये जो कोचिंग कोचिंग होती
जी
हैं जो कि स्पेसिफिकली अनाउंस करती हैं कि हम एग्जाम के लिए आपको प्रिपेयर करेंगे ना, उनके मैनिफेस्टो में, उनके ब्रोशर के अंदर में, उनके एडवर्टीजमेंट के अंदर में कभी ये नहीं लिखा जाता है कि हम आपको फिजिक्स पढ़ाएंगे या केमिस्ट्री पढ़ाएंगे या बायोलॉजी पढ़ाएंगे या मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ाएंगे। ये लिखा जाता है कि हम आपको इस इम्तहान की तैयारी कराएंगे, उस इम्तहान की तैयारी कराएंगे, उस इम्तहान की तैयारी कराएंगे। तो उस सिलसिले के अंदर में हम ये ब्रेन को एक जो नेचुरल ट्रेनिंग देनी थी, सिचुएशंस को देखो, देख करके समझो, समझ करके खुद का सॉल्यूशन पाथ निकालो।
5
रिसर्च के लिए वो चाहिए ना,
जी
एक अच्छे रिसर्चर के लिए वो चाहिए। एक अच्छा रिसर्चर बैसाखियों पे नहीं चल सकता है।
जी
आपको कोई कुछ खास खास चीजें सिखाएगा ताकि आपको अच्छे नंबर आएंगे या आप उसमें सफल करोगे, कुछ खास खास बातें आपको ट्रिक्स सिखाएंगे, रिसर्च वैसे नहीं हो सकता है। तो जेई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में कौन सी बड़ी बात है। ये जो अभी जो हमारा ये सेशन चल रहा है
जी
आपके आपके यूपीईएस के अंदर में 40 शिक्षकों के साथ, जो आज
जी
दूसरा दिन है इसका, इसके अंदर में हमने 2 सेशन ऐसे रखे हैं
जी
जिसमें हम एक्चुअल जेईई एडवांस के कुछ सवाल लेंगे और हमारे जो स्कूल के फिजिक्स टीचर्स हैं, सरकारी स्कूलों के फिजिक्स टीचर्स हैं, प्राइवेट स्कूलों के फिजिक्स टीचर्स हैं, जिनको कि कभी कभी जेई और कोचिंग और आईआईटी से कोई मतलब नहीं है,
जी
उनको जो उनके बोर्ड की किताबें हैं वही पढ़ाना है उनको। ओके, वो खुद भी जानते हैं कि मैं जेई का नाम मेरे सामने नहीं लेने का। हम उनके साथ 2 सेशंस हमने रखे हैं
जी
और ये उनको दिखाने के लिए कि जेईई के सवाल हल करना कोई बड़ी चीज नहीं है, और शॉर्टकट नहीं लेने वाले हम शॉर्टकट्स नहीं लेने वाले, हम एकदम सीधा बेसिक्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग से शुरू होके सवाल को पढ़ना, समझना कि क्या सवाल में क्या क्या चीजें हैं, क्या क्या नहीं है, अच्छी तरह से कॉम्प्रिहेंड करना। समय लगेगा
जी।
वो जो इम्तिहान में है ना कि इतने सवाल बनाने हैं 3 घंटे के, 1 घंटे के अंदर में, तो हम कहाँ से वहां सोचेंगे, वो सब भूल जाओ। तो सोचना, उसको देखना, समझना, अच्छी तरीके से समय लगाना, और उसका उसको हल करना। और जेई के सवाल कठिन होते ही नहीं, ये बहुत बड़ा भ्रम है कि जेई के सवाल कठिन होते हैं। दे आर वेल विद इन द रीच ऑफ आवर स्कूल फिजिक्स, रेगुलर स्कूल फिजिक्स टीचर्स। वो डमी वमी वाला नहीं, नॉन अटेंडिंग और डमिंग और कोलैबोरेट उससे किया, उनके लोग आकर के हमारे स्कूल के अंदर में पढ़ाएंगे, ये वाले सेक्शन अलग कर दिया, ये जेई का सेक्शन है, इसको पढ़ाने के लिए दूसरे लोग आ रहे हैं, वो नहीं। हमारे जो सामान्य टीचर्स हैं, पीजीटीज, वो हमारे पीजीटीज के बिल्कुल विद इन रीच है। ओनली थिंग वो 2-2 मिनट के अंदर में नहीं बनाएंगे, वो 5-5 मिनट के अंदर बनाएंगे। लेकिन 2-2 मिनट में बनाया हुआ भी फ्रूटफुल नहीं है, क्योंकि जब आप बिना समझे हुए, बिना उसकी गहराई में गए हुए सवाल करते हैं, तो गलतियां होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी अधिक होती है। तो आपने हाँ सवाल तो सारे बना दिए 1 घंटे के अंदर में, जितने लिखे थे सारे, लेकिन आपने ढेर सारी गलत भी कर दिए, नेगेटिव मार्क्स भी हो गए, ये हो गया, तो क्या ही फायदा हुआ? उससे अच्छा 5 ही मिनट लगाते थे। अभी भी जो जेई के एग्जाम्स में, जे एडवांस में जो लोग क्वालिफाई करते हैं, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस जब डेटा रिलीज करते हैं, तो 20%, 20 पॉइंट समथिंग परसेंट के ऊपर जनरल कैटेगरी के अंदर में वो क्वालिफाई कर जाते हैं। तो 100 नंबर के अंदर 20 नंबर लाना, ये कौन से बहादुरी का काम है? वो भी मैं कह रहा हूँ कि सवाल ऐसे होते हैं जिसको हमारे नॉर्मल पीजीटीज भी हल करते हैं, कर सकते हैं, जिनके साथ भी हमने ऐसे सेशंस लिए हैं, वो तो घबराते ही नहीं जेई के प्रॉब्लम देख करके, राइट? तो हमने बिना समझे, बिना उसको आत्मसात किए, अपना कॉम्पिटेंस बढ़ाए बिना, अगर हमने प्रॉब्लम हल करने की टेक्नोलॉजी सीख ली, तो हम जेई में पास करेंगे, रैंक लाएंगे, एडमिशन होगा। लेकिन रिसर्च का जहां तक सवाल आएगा, एक मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशंस टू द सोसाइटी का जहां सवाल आएगा, वहां पे हम उसके लिए तैयार नहीं है। फिर हम क्या करेंगे? हम जेई पास करके वो कंपनी ढूंढते रहेंगे, कौन सी कंपनी में जॉब मिल जाए, कौन सी कितने का पैकेज मिल जाए, कितने का क्या हो जाए। कुछ नहीं मिला तो फिर हम भी अपनी एक कोचिंग खोलेंगे, उसके अंदर में बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे, तो क्या फायदा हो गया फिर? तो ये फर्क है जेई प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में और एक बढ़िया रिसर्चर बनने में।
सो डियर फ्रेंड्स, अभी आपने सुना कि कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फिजिक्स सिर्फ जेई क्वालिफाई करने के लिए नहीं है, ये आपको एक अच्छा रिसर्चर बनने के लिए भी है। एंड व्हाट सर हैज सेड, country needs a great scientist in every field of science, and physics as a mother of all sciences हर जगह अप्लाई होता है, whether you study biology or chemistry or any other sciences, physics is there. So physics का concept जान करके और उसके ऊपर आप अगर सोचेंगे, समझेंगे, तो IITG के प्रश्न भी आप इजीली सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। जैसा सर बताएं कि पीजीटी जो टीचर्स होते हैं वो बहुत ही इजीली इसको सॉल्व करते हैं जो सर के अंडर में ट्रेनिंग ले रहे हैं। वन मोर थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर हियर दैट UPS is hosting national workshop for physics teacher, guided by, organized by, managed by Honorable H.C.Verma sir. That's a 6 days rigorous training is given to the physics teachers, और उसमें it's a completely residential है। सर के थ्रू ऑल ओवर इंडिया से लगभग 50 टीचर्स सिलेक्ट होकर के आते हैं और 6 दिन उनकी ट्रेनिंग होती है। वो ट्रेनिंग यूपीएस में होस्ट किया जा रहा है, और इसीलिए सर कह रहे थे कि वो फैकल्टी जो इस ट्रेनिंग को अटेंड करते हैं, दे लर्न हाउ टू टीच स्टूडेंट्स हाउ टू थिंक in physics, about physics, for physics, to solve real societal problem. हमें फिजिक्स पढ़ करके क्या करना है? तो one thing that sir has said and emphasized, we should always think about solving societal related problem through research. So moving forward, the next question is, as you are in UPS campus today, what is your experience and how do you think UPS is playing an important role in reshaping Indian higher education?
For this, I have to spend some more time in UPS and interact with people and look at the literature and other things. But the first experience is very, very nice. People here seem to be dedicated towards the real skill developments so that the students master those skills and contribute to the society. So that learning part, they learn well, then the Indian philosophy is tagged with it. Whatever you learn, whatever you earn, it is not for yourself only, it is for the society.
For the society.
So that learning part is being done here, and kind of interactions, small interaction that I had in these 2 days, it seems very promising. It seems very promising. I can only say that.
Sir, I would like to add a few points here. UPS organize actually this social internship program, and there we have more than 2,000 NGOs. We work in collaboration with NGOs, so we send our students in those societies to work with the NGOs, to work with the people, and to understand what all kind of real challenges they are facing and how to find solution for that. Another fellowship we started recently, that is called Himalayan Fellowship, and that's under the guidance of our president, Dr. Ram Sharma. So where we select around 30 students every year, we send to the remote village of Himalayas, on the top of the mountains like Managaon and other areas. They go there, they learn, they understand what all kind of problems they are facing, how they are living, how they are surviving, even without electricity, without water supply, and they are living up to 90, 100 years. So what's their lifestyle, how they manage things? So our students, they go there, and then they do such kind of a study, project work, they come back, they prepare the report and submit here. So maybe in coming future,
Very good.
in next 20, 30 years, we will have that library, that repository, so that we'll manage that, the progression, we'll see how things have progressed in those areas. So as you said, as you have mentioned, society-related work, so UP is doing actively such kind of things, sir.
It's a two-way learning.
Yeah.
I also spent some time in not very remote areas, but in mountains, in Himalayas. And I also found people who are still using that chulha
Yes,
and
yes.
the wood sticks.
Would,
and,
yeah.
Right. And but then I feel that it's an opportunity to learn from them. It's not that they are backward or they are not in the race of this development. The electricity has not reached there, is fine. But ultimately, they are more environment friendly. They are more neighbor friendly. So we have to learn from them, and then the qualities and the strengths they have.
Yes.
Okay, if that can be facilitated more through these developments, that's good. But if that changes their basic characters, then it's not good.
Yes.
Instead of saying that here we have four-lane roads, there all those pagdandis, and like that, they are living in a hardship, so we should provide, they do not have internet,
yeah.
they do not have computer. That has to be taken care of
Yeah, yeah.
when we think of those.
So yes, sir, as you have mentioned, it's a two ways learning.
Right, right,
So
right.
what UPS is doing through this fellowship, Himalayan fellowship, actually we promote our students, those who are getting admission here in BTech or other courses, to apply for that fellowship, to get that fellowship and go. University provide fellowship for that.
For which, how much period?
For 4 weeks.
Okay.
They go there and then they come back.
Okay.
Yeah. So during this summer they will go. And the interesting thing is that we are trying to understand the sustainable concept of living there. Because I would say that in zero resources, the resources that which are available for us here, they don't get that. But they are very happy.
Yeah.
They live longer.
Yeah.
And they
Do not
even,
harm in the environment.
yeah, and they are even happier than that, us. And they are living in a sustainable way. So such kind of learning we are getting through our students. And I'm happy to say that I'm mentoring some of the
Okay.
students in that Himalayan fellowship.
Okay.
So students, it's a great opportunities for all of you to participate in such kind of fellowships at UPS as well. Moving forward to the next question, technology leaders like Elon Musk and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang have mentioned that understanding of physics and mathematics will be more decisive in the world of artificial intelligence. Why they say so? How physics matters in AI world?
See, this question is not meant for me. Huh? What these people are telling and what is their experience, there's a different arena. What I feel is that in this AI era, it's even more important to have a brain which can analyze the things better and find solution path. Okay, so in that way, AI, in the era of AI, if I don't have these qualities, if I cannot analyze things independently, I'm dependent on someone telling me. And then if I'm not able to design my solution path, so the physics has become more important because physics is the subject which really inculcates these qualities in the brain. And that is why at IIT Kanpur, since its inception, 1960, the founders could see this, that every student who is admitted in IIT Kanpur, independent of the branch, be it biological sciences, be it earth science, be it civil engineering, be it computer science, anything, aerospace engineering, anything, everyone has to go through physics courses.
Yes.
Three physics, in fact, three physics courses. So physics is the thing, is the subject which can challenge your mind to have a complete understanding of the situations, complete from all aspects, comprehensive, and then analyze the whole thing in great details and with much of accuracy. Then experimental physicists will be very competent to design their apparatus and the accuracy, and because all these computers, all your era, this AI, etc., they now run with those tiny transistors.
Yes.
Very, very tiny transistors, few nanometer type of thing. So physicists also design such kind of apparatus, all these things. So that will be even more important. And people who do not have that kind of analytic brain, they will really lag behind. So that's the kind of thing.
So, sir, in the same line, I'm happy to share that UPS has made the big contribution towards AI and physics, as you have mentioned. We have a very strong engineering department here, and a physics department is doing really great. And this year we have signed MOU with OpenAI, and we got around 22,000 academic licenses for our students and faculty. So that's a big initiative UPS has taken, and we are moving forward in this AI generation now. So the next question is, what careers beyond teaching? That normally comes to you, sir. Beyond teaching and research, can someone who truly masters physics? Yeah.
So there are a lot of career options if you don't compare yourself with anyone else. And if you compare with others, then there are no options.
Okay.
Okay. But if you don't compare with others and do not compare the salary packages and the perks and the growth rate and the promotions, all those things, whatever is needed to sustain my family,
Yes.
if that is the requirement, whatever is needed to sustain my family, if that is the requirement, there are options. There are good options, right? Now, if you don't do teaching, fine, very good, very good. There are a lot of scientific installations, like our Bhabha Atomic Research Center, like our this Plasma Institute of Plasma Research, IPR, Ahmedabad, then Physics Research Laboratory, this Ahmedabad, TIFR. Some teaching has started there.
Yeah.
But mostly there are a lot of CSIR laboratories.
ISRO has also.
ISRO.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of installations, your GMRT,
yeah.
a lot of installations where they need scientific human resource. You don't have to teach, you don't have to go deeper into research also. To maintain that facility and let it go, so that someone, if you don't want to do this as a fine, good, but you can be instrumental in maintaining, running, keeping that facility, and do some research, some level research. So all those things, and they are all open after BSc or MSc, masters. You don't have to wait for 5-year PhD and 5 years of postdoc.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
Sir,
Then you have other options also apart from the scientific installations. If you don't want to do any kind of research, right? You are master in physics, MSc in physics, but you don't want to do anything of that kind. Even in these institutions, you have a lot of administrative management posts, DST for example, or INSA for example, NASI for example. So they are scientific bodies. They shape, they policy, they make policies, they collaborate with different institutions. There are a lot of administrative work involved, a lot of administrative and managerial work. And since these are all science institutions, they look for not management person, but for a science person. Who can understand the things. So those things are open. There are varieties things. And then of course, if you don't want to do physics, fine, good. Do physics till BSc, MSc, Masters, orient your brain so that you can tackle any problem of the world. And then go for anything which is open for any bachelor. Any bachelor, UPSC or whatever finance companies, or anywhere you go, you will succeed, because you have really oriented your brain that way. But if you have only passed the examination, you have a degree of BSc and MSc, then no guarantee.
Yeah, so dear friends, as Sir has mentioned that physics has no limitation, not just in research and study, but even you think about the job, starting from the scientific position to the administrative position to lead the world. So everywhere physics applies, whether you are doing business or you are working for business or you are working as a scientist or you are working as a teacher. All, I would say that all career options that we have today, physics applies everywhere. So no need to worry about that. If you are studying physics, your career is safe. and secured. But you have to learn physics, not just read. जैसा कि हमने बताया है कि पढ़ना और सीखना दोनों में अंतर होता है. आप पढ़ते हैं तो डिग्री लेते हैं, और अगर आप सीखते हैं तो एक अच्छा एक्सपर्ट उस सब्जेक्ट में बनते हैं जो आपको एक अच्छा ह्यूमन बीइंग बनाता है. So try to learn, not just try to study to become a good human being. And once you are a good human being, world is yours. So thank you, sir. And moving forward, next question is, some students think that now AI can solve any textbook problem in seconds. What is the point of students struggling through physics problem?
See, it's your choice. The student has to make the choice whether the student wants to have competence,
Yeah.
to face new situations, or want to just go through some shortcuts, some short-term gains, like that. The first sentence was very interesting. AI can solve all textbook problems. Yes. Yes, probably. AI can solve the textbook problems, but cannot solve the real problems.
Real problems.
The
yeah.
real problems are not textbook problems.
Yes.
The textbook prepare you to face the real problems.
Real problem.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you bypass that,
Yes.
and your textbook problems are solved by AI for you,
Yes.
then you have not prepared yourself
Yeah.
to face the real problems. So choice is yours.
Yeah.
The students has to make the choice.
Yeah, I think in present scenario, this is very important question, and I would say that for Gen Zs specifically, because when you think in a shortcut, try to use AI to solve textbook problems, you don't understand actually the methodology, the process, how that problem is being solved. And when you come to the society after getting that degrees, I think then you face lots of challenges. So it is important to use AI systematically, and you need to think about that. For what purpose you are going to use AI? AI cannot solve all the problems. Means at the end you will have to apply your brain as well, how you are going to solve the real life problem that our society is facing. So I think, sir, you have rightly mentioned that ये choice हमारा है कि
Yes.
हम AI को किस purpose के लिए कहाँ पे use करना चाहते हैं.
And another thing is that to face life, I have to be psychologically strong, mentally strong.
Right.
Avoiding difficulties
Right.
is not a good training. If some difficulty is there, we are seeking help. No, that's not a good training. If difficulties are there, we ourselves will solve the problem without any assistance. That
Yeah.
kind of quality should be there, so that we can face the जिंदगी है ना, पता नहीं कब
Right,
क्या क्या
sir.
रंग दिखाएगी, तो
Yeah.
उसको करने के लिए मुझे mentally strong होना चाहिए, ethical होना चाहिए.
Ethical होना चाहिए.
एथिकल होना चाहिए. अगर मैंने शॉर्टकट्स अपनाए, अनएथिकल चीजें अपनाई,
Yes.
वो ट्रेनिंग अपने माइंड को दी है,
Yes.
then we will not do well in our life.
Right. And such kind of problems comes to everyone, and you need to think in a way how you are going to solve a problem properly. So yesterday I was attending sir's lecture, and I learned one thing. Sir, Mathura or Agra wala wo story, if you can share with our students, how one negative things can be converted into positive through thought process. And this is what is needed in current scenario, in present situation. I think all of us need to learn, students, parents as well. Sir, आप प्लीज अगर उस स्टोरी को शेयर करें.
नहीं, the story goes that हमने वहाँ पे एक इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज के अंदर में एक लैब बनाई.
जी.
They asked us to make a lab for outreach.
जी.
Specially outreach. और जो उस आगरा मथुरा के रीजन के स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उनको वो ला करके उस लैब के अंदर में और कुछ सिखाना चाहते थे साइंस वगैरह, तो हम
जी
लोगों ने वो लैब बना ली। जब गए उन्होंने हॉल जो हमारे लिए रखा था, उस हॉल की एक दीवार को बहुत बढ़िया पेंटर से और उन्होंने पूरा पेंट कराया था, साइंटिफिक फार्मूले, कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ मैग्नेट है तो फील्ड लाइंस बनी हुई हैं, अर्थ है तो कुछ हो रहा है, ऐसे बहुत तरह ग्रेविटेशन है, बहुत तरह के इक्वेशंस और बहुत तरह के सिचुएशंस उसमें डिपिक्ट किए गए थे टू मेक द हॉल अट्रैक्टिव। And somehow the physics people who were involved from the institution did not
जी
see it beforehand,
जी
and when we went there we found that there were several mistakes in that.
जी
There were several mistakes in that. Arrows are wrongly put or
जी
like that. Okay, the the superscripts and subscripts, they got
यस
mixed up.
या
Many such I could see some 5, 6 on the wall.
राइट सर
So when I pointed out that these are wrong, scientifically wrong or mathematically wrong, they were very upset because
या
now making all corrections and
यस
doing that doesn't give, will not be that natural which the painter had designed
राइट राइट
so aesthetically, all those things. So they were quite upset that how do we correct it.
करेक्ट
So I suggested that you don't do anything. You just number everything, you number separately. So this is one unit where you are showing is, let's say, magnetic field lines. One where you are showing some kind of a Faraday's experiment, Newton's sitting under the tree,
यस यस
the gravitational equations, and blah blah blah. हर एक को number कर दो. And then on the board in the middle, you just write, find the mistakes in these drawings. So that has become an activity item.
activity item
Activity
yeah
item. When the students come in batches to do experiment, the
Yeah.
first thing they are asked that go to the wall and find all the mistakes and
Mistakes.
list them,
Yeah.
and we will see that whether you have found all the mistakes or you could something is correct which you are saying that it
Yes.
is wrong.
Right.
So the first activity
Is-
is now being done with that wall.
Yeah. So that way they will also learn all the
Yeah, yeah.
formulas, 20,
Correct,
25
correct,
formulas which are
correct,
there
correct.
on the wall.
Correct.
So students, you just have, just now you have, listened that if something, if you have a good thought process, sometimes it happens in your life as well. How you can, convert those negative thought into positive, the negative work into positive, the way you think. So always be positive.
Yeah.
As sir has said that IIT crack करना कोई difficult नहीं है, but you need to understand your subject first. Okay. So now this is the last question from a student side and not from my side. So which mystery of physics you wish to solve, or you will feel proud if any Indian can solve that mystery?
See, my entire efforts are for the people. So I am using physics, I am using my training in physics not to do any path-breaking research or like that, but to teach, to interact with the young generation, to teach with, to work with our teachers at different levels, from very small children to college
Yeah.
level and like that. So my thing is that. Okay, so let that be left to the researchers who are doing those path-breaking researches. But yeah, people are doing nice things, and India is not really lagging behind.
Yeah.
There is a perception that Nobel Prize nahi mila, but the kind of work they are doing, very useful work and very nice work they are doing. Recognition का कोई बड़ी बात नहीं होती,
Yes,
किसको मिला किसको नहीं मिला. मैंने सुना कि नोबेल कमेटी जो है सो घूमती रहती है और इंस्टीट्यूशंस में जा करके कहती रही है कि वो करो वो करो, और इंडिया से नॉमिनेशन ही नहीं जाते हैं। तो हमने कहा भाई इंडिया के लोग बहुत ईमानदार होते हैं, और वो जब तक खुद कन्विंस नहीं हो जाते हैं
जी
कि मेरा काम इस स्टैंडर्ड का है, वो ना अप्लाई करेंगे ना कोई उसको नॉमिनेट करेगा।
जी
सो बी पॉजिटिव एज यू से।
जी
साइंस में भी हम लोग बहुत आगे जाएंगे,
जी
टेक्नोलॉजी में भी हम लोग बहुत आगे आएंगे।
जी
अब यही है कि जो ये पूरा भार है ना हर एक एरा के अंदर में, जो उस समय की जनरेशन है
जी
उसको इसको आगे लेके जाना होगा,
जी
राइट। और अगर वो जनरेशन छोटी छोटे उद्देश्यों में रह गई,
जी
मेरे कितने मकान बने, मेरे पास क्या क्या सामान आया,
जी
मैं कहाँ कहाँ जाता हूँ, कौन कौन मेरा किस किस सोसाइटी का मैं चेयरमैन, ये छोटे छोटी चीजों के अंदर में हमने अपनी शक्तियां लगाई तो हम नहीं बढ़ेंगे।
जी
लेकिन जो भारत की मेधा है
जी
और भारत में जितनी संघर्षशीलता है,
जी
we can face any kind of difficulties and we can
जी
still smile.
रेजिलियंस पावर। जी
तो भारत के अंदर में जितना है वो बहुत बड़ी पूंजी है अपने पास में, उसको अपने से छिटकने नहीं देना छोटे छोटे
बिल्कुल
उद्देश्यों के लिए।
जी
छोटी छोटी चीजों के अंदर में तात्कालिक खुशी
जी
बहुत तात्कालिक है, वो फिर पड़ जाएंगे। वो एक आदत है ना अपनी कि हम चिंता कितनी करते हैं, तो अगर हम चिंता बहुत करते हैं तो कुछ कुछ हमारी सफलता भी होती है ना, तो फिर वो
जी
थोड़े ही समय के बाद वो दूसरी चिंता सताने लग
जी
जाती है।
जी
और कोई भी अच्छा काम होता है उसके लिए अपना ब्रेन बहुत फर्टाइल होना चाहिए, अपना हेल्थ बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए, खूब बढ़िया खाना पीना सोना चाहिए, खुश रहना चाहिए, सोसाइटी को अपना समझना चाहिए, प्रकृति को अपना समझना चाहिए, दुनिया को अपना समझना चाहिए, मेरी दुनिया है इसको खूबसूरत बनाना है। तो वो होते रहेंगे रिसर्चेस, होते रहेंगे, अच्छे रिसर्चेस हो रहे हैं, बढ़िया बढ़िया रिसर्चेस।